All right, so real quick, right before we dive in, this video you're about to watch was not supposed to be on YouTube. This was recorded exclusively for the WAAS Academy students inside of the course, but I was feeling generous and said, you know what, I'm just gonna drop it for free. Because if you've been watching me for a while, you know I'm all about giving value. And if you've been paying attention, if you've been implementing and actually trying, you would see the results. You would sign your first few clients. There's no fluff, there's no theory, there's no motivational talk. This is just a raw, in-depth breakdown. And if you get to the end of the video and you're like, damn, I want some more sauce, I like these more in-depth videos, then check out the description. I have some things that you might like. But for the next 20 minutes, cut out all distractions, grab a cup of coffee, and lock the fuck in. Open to the next module of the website course. We're going to be going over from preview to full build out, from sending a preview to actually fully completing a client's website. What does that process look like? And I'm going to go over each and every one of these steps from a high level point of view, just breaking down everything you need to know about each step of the process, from right when you find a lead, when you send them a preview, get them on a call, and then actually start the website project, and then actually delivering the website project, making sure both sides of the party are happy, making sure you actually did the website correctly, there's no bugs, there's no errors, you actually delivered a functional website and there's no problems, everyone's happy, you got paid, and you can get a review, you can get a testimonial. So I'm going to break down the exact framework that I would follow. So first things first, obviously, is finding a prospect. There's other modules in this course about that, so I'm not going to talk about that. But basically, finding someone who has a problem that you can solve. Basically, someone that doesn't have a website, someone that has a poor website, somebody maybe, for example, that doesn't have marketing, that needs Google My Business, whatever it might be. You need to find someone who needs your solutions, needs your services. In this case, it's web design and high converting websites. So we need to find people with no website or obviously a bad website. So we have a high intent prospect that agrees for a preview or shows interest, right? So this person responded to our text message. This person verbally agreed they want to get a preview done, verbally agreed that they're interested, verbally agreed that they know they need a website and they're open to seeing some sort of demo or something like that. In that case, you would build them a custom preview. If this is a high intent, high quality lead where, you know, they're actually going to watch the preview or actually listen to you, or you actually have an in-person meeting, definitely make them a custom preview. And then you can make them a Loom, or if you just want to send them a niche generalized preview. And what this means is, let's say your niche is pool builders. Well, you're sending a bunch of DMs and you're doing a bunch of outreach. You only recorded one Loom. You send that one Loom to 20 different pool builders. But when you're showing the website preview, it's just a generalized website preview. There's no custom logos. There's no company name. It has the graphic where it says your logo here, your company name here. So it just has placeholders on the website preview. So this is a niche generalized preview. It's still good to send when you're doing mass outreach. But for example, if you book a Zoom call, you definitely want to have a custom preview for that client, because that's going to increase the conversion rate. So yeah, how do I do this though? So you would clone the website template. So how do I make a preview using Go High Level? So we'd open up any one of the templates. Let's say we want to do an auto detailer preview, right? A custom preview. We're going to clone the template because we don't want to mess up the original template. Let's just say we're going to do Alex's detailing web preview. Boom. So now we named it. Now we know whose preview it is. We would confirm the clone, and now we can make them a preview without messing up the original template. So you would clone the website template and start making a custom homepage preview. You're only changing the homepage for the preview, right? You're going to add their logo, add their company name, and change a few pictures. And then you were going to record and send the Loom. For example, like this right here. I cloned the website template. I changed a little bit of the information for the specific person I was making the Loom for. And then here's a Loom. It looks like he did view it when I sent it to him. I shared the link and boom. So when you actually clone it though on Go High Level, how do I actually make the preview? How do I start that? So we would click on here, and once we actually open a website template, obviously we see all the pages. But like I said, when we're just making the preview, we're not editing the mobile detailing packages, the services page, the contact us page. All we're doing is clicking edit on the home page, and we're going to fix up the home page and edit the home page. And then obviously, once we do so, let's just say I made a custom preview. I would then click this eyeball button, And now I can screen record to do a Loom and show this custom preview, but we're only showing the homepage, right? It looks like I have fully built out this entire website, right? But when I click on a page, I mean, you can click on it in the Loom, but obviously this is generic too. So we only want to customize the homepage, because if you customize the homepage, it makes it look like a fully built out website for that business, and that's good enough. So we would fully build out the homepage. Like I said, we're not customizing the entire website. That's going to take way too long, and we haven't even got a deposit. We haven't even got a verbal agreement that they even want the full website built out. So we build the homepage preview, record, and then send the Loom, right? So we send the Loom via text message, and then from there, the goal is to book a phone call, book a Zoom call, or book an in-person meeting. Or you already knew a business owner that needed a website. You already booked a phone call or a Zoom call or an in-person meeting. And then during that meeting, you're gonna show them the custom preview. So you can either show them the custom preview through text or DMs, or if they're a really good lead, they're okay with waiting for the Zoom call, and you can show them the preview there as well. And that's gonna help you close the prospect a lot better. So on that Zoom call or in-person meeting, the prospect says yes, they agree, to the terms, to the pricing, and you send the agreement and you send an invoice for 50%. So how do I do this? So the agreement, just literally go to Claude, go to ChatGPT, and type in your help me make. So if I wanted to make a quick website agreement for my web design agency, I would do something like this. You can go to Claude, you can go to ChatGPT, help me make an agreement for my web design agency, the DNS marketing firm, and the client Mark from Marcus Landscaping. I need a 0 to 10 page website for $500, $47 per month for hosting, no refund policy after the project has started. Client has ownership of the website as long as they pay the hosting fee of $47 per month. And then you can also add any other things that you want to add. You don't want to make it too crazy, super long, super serious. And we frame this as an agreement, not necessarily a contract. So how do we do this? We go to payments in the sub account. You can do this in your agency sub account, so it stays in your agency. You have the files. You're gonna go to documents and contracts, go to new document. I highly recommend you do agreements for everybody, even if you're building a website for a family, if it's a complete stranger. You definitely just want to have an agreement just so it's on paper. Last thing you want is somebody getting mad, somebody going against the terms, somebody crossing a certain line, and then the client wants to charge back on the credit card. They win the charge back. You lose the dispute. You lose the money, and you already wasted your time building the website. So definitely get something signed, get this agreement signed, do it through Go High Level. You can get the signature, and it has a certificate once everything is signed, just so everything is on paper. You know where you stand, the client knows where he stands. Everything's in paper as far as the project agreement in terms. So I'll just get something generated like this. So I'll copy it from ChatGPT or Claude, paste it right here, and boom. So now you can go ahead, you can even make a template for this as well through Go High Level. Fill everything out just so everything's on paper, and then you would come down here, you would add a signature. So it looks like provider, which would be me. I would put assigned to myself. I would put the printed name, and then you can do the same thing. This will be assigned to the recipient. You can put the date, and then you hit send. You can send them a link. He takes care of it, you take care of it. And after you do that, so now we're gonna create an invoice for 50% up front. So I will go ahead and go to invoices, create invoice. This is where we would do it on Stripe. If you don't already have them on your customer list, definitely add them as a customer. So you would do new customer. And what I like to do is add their name, like Leo Gaines, and then add their company, iHome Renovations, like this, and then put their business email, and then you can save that just so it helps them use that as a business write-off. Website setup fee, you can do something like this. If you don't have the item, you can create the item, add the price. So let's just do $250 up front. It's a $500 website. Include tax and price. We can just do yes. Do not collect tax automatically. And then we're gonna send this today, or make it due today. And boom, now you have an invoice ready to go. You can review this invoice, and then you can finalize and send it. And once you hit finalize and send, you're also gonna have a link that's gonna get generated, and you can use that link, send it through text message, send it through email. So once invoice and agreement are completed, you're gonna send the onboarding form. But Diego, how do I make an onboarding form? So we're gonna use Google Forms, and we're gonna use ChatGPT or Claude. So once again, so here's my prompt. Create an onboarding form I can send to new web design clients in the personal injury law firm niche. So just a random niche. Make this around 15 questions so me and my team get all the info needed to make their website content correct the first time. So now we have our entire personal injury law firm web design onboarding form. Literally just copy all of this, or just something like this, copy the whole thing. We're gonna go to Google Forms and we can create a form using AI. So right here, I'm gonna paste all the information I literally just got. Looks like it says 5,000 characters or less. Make this 5,000 characters. If you really wanted to use all these questions and you didn't want to, worry about the characters, then you would obviously just build this from scratch and you wouldn't use AI. But if you want this to be as easy as possible, let me just copy the updated version, open a new form, and then we're going to paste this in here. Boom, create it. And now we have pretty much a complete or a good starting point of an onboarding form that we can build off of. So this has a lot of information that we're gonna use in order to write the copy, to do the website structure, to do the website offer, the build out, all the pages. This is pretty much everything we need. So we're gonna go ahead and hit publish, and then hit publish again, hit got it, and then hit this share button and make sure you copy responder link. So make sure this responder review is anyone with a link can respond. So boom, copy responder link. And now we can send this link to our clients. Boom, here's the onboarding form to get started. And our clients will fill this out. So once we have their submission, we're gonna download the file and come back here. Now we can start the project, right? We got paid a 50% deposit. We got the agreement and we have the onboarding form. This is the 3 keys to success of getting a project started. Pretty much in any service, web marketing service, whether you're doing AI, marketing, ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, web design, you need to get paid. You need an onboarding form. You need the agreement signed. So now we can get started on the fulfillment / start the project / service delivery / we already onboarded them. So now we can actually start. So we're going to create a new client dedicated sub account or build the website under our sub account. So under Go High Level, we would come back to agency view. We would go to sub accounts and then we would create a new sub account. We could create a blank one and then start building it from here using the onboarding form, put all their information and boom, create them their own sub account. Now let's just say we only have 3 sub accounts on the 97 per month Go High Level plan. So what I would do is go to my marketing firm sub account from my marketing agency and just build the website under here. Now you can get away with this as long as they don't need any features associated with Go High Level. So if they don't need a calendar, if they don't need their own contact book, if they don't need their own conversations, invoicing system, or AI ads, if they're not doing anything, if it's strictly just for the website to get something up, then you can just have their website and get started in your own sub account. But if you have any plans to upsell this client in the future or provide additional services that goes on top of web design and around web design, then I would definitely make them their own sub account. So create a new client sub account or build them under your sub account. Now this goes into also making sure you get paid good enough to afford to upgrade eventually to unlimited sub accounts. So make sure you're not giving people sub accounts unless they're actually paying you monthly. So now with the onboarding form we just had, the client just filled out, we can now go ahead and start generating the website copy. We can gather the assets from the client. So send them a Google Drive link to make sure they can actually upload stuff to the Google Drive. So if we go to Google Drive and hit new folder, let's just say Alex's detailing photos and videos. You create that, double click it and open it up, hit share again, and then make sure general access, anyone with this link can edit this. That's very, very important, because if you send this to your client and you didn't do this, it's going to take even longer because they don't have permission and they're going to have to ask for permission to even deploy their photos on here. So now that you have that unlocked, you can now copy the link and send this to your client. They can go ahead and upload whatever they have already as far as photos and videos. Next, select a website template. So we would come to Go High Level, come to the sub account with where our templates lie. Now we can go ahead and look through the templates that we give you guys and see which one would work best for my client and start from there and start building from here. Or I would go to potentially check out the Go High Level website templates, see if they have something else that you would rather start from and you go ahead and click one of these and get started on building out the entire website. Or for example, let's just say, for example, Alex's detailing preview. Well, we already duplicated this website. We already have the homepage kind of built out because we did the preview. We can just start from this one right here. The homepage is almost already done. We can finish that, and then boom, all we need to do is knock out the rest of the pages. So you can also, that's why it's good to clone the template, rename it, so you can always come back to it for the preview, come back to the preview whenever the client actually signed on and paid you. You can just start from here. You can delete this and just change it to Alex's detailing website. Now you know this is his website, and you can get started on this project right here. Now, if they're a high ticket client where they paid you over, $1,500, over $2,000 to $3,000, you could even find a custom developer, a custom web designer to make a custom website that's high ticket, and it's custom. It's not from a template, and it's built strictly for your client, and it's a lot nicer looking and a lot more modern and a lot better, honestly. But that's for high ticket clients that want that custom build out. And I'm going to show y'all guys in another module where to find these custom web design and developers. So once you have your template or you already have your project, obviously you would then start building out all the individual pages using the copy that you made from the onboarding form, and there's using the copy course video as well. So boom, go ahead and start filling in all these things right here. Now, when you finish like the home page or finish a few pages, you can go ahead and record a loom and then hit preview and start sending your client an update, right? Show him what you already built out just so he sees the progress, and the good communication is there as well. And he knows you're working on the project, and you keep him excited, and that's how you have good communication. So you can send him a loom just breaking down, hey John, here, I just want to give you a quick update. Let me know what you think of the website. You can send them the loom, or you can send them the URL of the Go High Level preview. So how you would do this is, once again, you hit this eyeball button, copy this link, and then you can send this via SMS, and they can go ahead and click through the website on their own from their phone and get the full view on their end and truly read the wording and look at the layout and see if they're happy with it. But before you send a link of a preview to your client, you need to make sure, one, it's mobile optimized, because they're most likely going to preview it on their mobile device. So before you send them the first draft or the first touch point, you make sure that the mobile is actually optimized and the mobile looks good, the buttons work, the copy looks good, because like I said, you send them this link right here, they're gonna open it most likely on their phone. Another thing as well is, if you send this link via text message, make sure the SEO metadata is set. So it's good that you can set this SEO metadata before you send that as well. Obviously watch the SEO page, because if you send this via text message, this needs to have a title and a description. It'll show it when you send the link, and it looks really, really good. Add their social image as well, so you get an image and a thumbnail when you send them the link of the preview. You would attach the domain when the website is at least 75% completed. You would complete the SEO metadata for all pages. So once again, I just showed you how to do that on the home page, but let's just say we go to the services page. We obviously need to make sure the SEO metadata is done on here. It's done for all the pages. SEO metadata needs to be done for all pages. Next is a full QA check on desktop and mobile. So now, once we think we're done with the website, we're gonna have to review it A to Z from top to bottom on all the pages, right? So we can go ahead, hit the eyeball button, just start clicking everything around. Start clicking these, right? Start clicking buttons, making sure everything goes to where it needs to go, right? I have a couple more points on here. Click all buttons, double check all copy. So make sure you read all the words and make sure nothing is left from the template. Make sure no generic words are there. Make sure everything's tailored for your client. All the buttons are working. It doesn't lead to another website. A big one is the footer, right? A lot of guys use my templates, and obviously my templates come sometimes directly from my client's website. So some of them don't change the footer, and they click on one of the buttons down here. The client will click on it and it literally takes it back to my client's website. So that makes you look bad as an agency owner. So, back like in high school, whenever you were doing or even in elementary, when you had to write papers, you had to do revisions. You had to do peer revisions. You had to get someone to check you off before you submitted the final version. This is the exact same thing, and it's super important. Look for all bugs, look for all mistakes. Last thing you want is going back and forth with a client when you would have already been paid if you just went through and did it the first time. So just clicking every single button, literally stressing over this and geeking out over this, making sure everything is perfect. And that also goes to show that you actually care about your work and you're gonna make it far in this business. And like I said, you need to do this for mobile and desktop. So as you click around everything on desktop, send the link to your phone and look at it on mobile view as well to make sure everything works and everything checks off. So if there's no revisions, the client's happy, you're happy, you collect the remaining 50%. You can then ask the client to record a testimonial/review so they can give you feedback, and then you can also use that testimonial for your ads, for your website, or for your portfolio. They can literally just record themselves. You can do a meeting with them. You can get a picture with them, whatever it might be. That's pretty much everything you need on how to go from preview to full build out. Without further ado, I'll see you on the next module.